All right, we are back out today, back to Soldier Pass. We're doing another shakedown of the Stark. We were at 99%, which is weird because I charged it to 100, but in that little half a mile I just did, we're already down to 99. I'm running currently in mode 2, which is 30 horsepower with like 30% engine braking. So we're gonna let this warm up a little bit. Not that you really have to warm up an electric bike, but I guess the batteries do like a little bit of time to get themselves warmed up. And then we'll go to mode 1, which is 45 horsepower, I believe. So anyways, let's go. Let's do this. I've also enabled the Pro setting so I can adjust the torque curve. So the torque curve is really low right here off the bottom, and then it ramps up as I build RPM. I still find this bike to go through whoops. Whoa, that rock just about took me out. But this bike goes through whoops better than anything I've ever owned. I say that and I'll probably wad it up like an idiot. I'm not actually sure. I really need to bump up the horsepower at all. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, that's enough. 1.4 miles, 4% battery chewed up. This advanced mode stuff, I don't know. This might be gimmicky. Okay, we are in 1. Well, that definitely has more power than it did, going from 30 to 40. Still spins tire like so easy. And I don't know, maybe my other bikes did as well and I just couldn't hear it. Oh, yeah, this thing's shooting off like crazy fast. Just unnecessary. Let's go up to that slower, lesser power. Yep, that's definitely noticeable. Dropping 10 horse. Holy cow, yeah, big time. Not say I do like this suspension, but you can definitely tell it's valved for motocross. This is the MX version 2025 MX version 1.2, so it does have the bigger battery. All right, well, as you can see, we're now at 5.4 miles in, if that's accurate, and we have used 13% of the juice. We are now at a spot that I typically use as my baseline to see how much I like the performance of a bike's motor. This is a pretty steep climb, kind of loose. Typically, I like to see how a bike can get up this in third gear. This doesn't have gears. So we're going to see what it does trying to climb this in 30 horsepower mode. And probably come back down and bump it up to 40 and see what happens. So yeah, here we go. All right, let's do it. Holy crap, this is awesome. I don't think you need 40 horsepower to climb this. This is having no problem. Holy cow. In fact, this will wheelie over if I wanted it to. Oh my gosh, there is no reason to bother with trying 40 horsepower. Holy smokes, 30 is plenty. That is impressive. Power. I just want to double check. Power mode 2, yep, 30 horsepower. That's all we're doing. Wow. Jeez Louise. I'm so impressed. All right. So far, I will say the only thing I'm not impressed with on this bike is the battery range. And that, unfortunately, is kind of abysmal. Everything else is as good or substantially better than a gas bike, and yeah, just awesome. truly think if they could get the range out of a battery, even say they could get 50, 55 miles out of this battery, then I think ice bikes are donezo. It will be super interesting to see what Yamaha pulls off with the bike they're developing with electric motion. That is going to be interesting. Okay, so here's another pretty serious climb. We've now used 15% battery, only 6.3 miles. This hill is going to chew up some battery, but I'm leaving it on the 30 horsepower because I have yet to see any reason to jump to 40. And come on, here we go. That was awesome. Oh my gosh, that was incredible, like nothing. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, that was freaking amazing. How do I want to go? Let's go this way. Down at the speedometer, a couple of times I've been hitting 30 miles an hour on this thing. That's crazy. I don't know. I do wish the suspension were a little bit more flush for this kind of riding, but my plan is to use this on the motocross track quite a bit as well, so it seems kind of pointless to try and revalve it. Possibly the smart thing to do would be to spring it for my weight and then back the clickers out more. And the traction today is freaking awesome. I do not think you could get better traction. All right, we're getting pretty close to the end here. Pretty good ride in tonight. I mean, what I've learned is keep it under 40 horsepower. It really extends the range. However, I ain't gonna lie, 40 plus horsepower turns up the fun volume, the fun knob, by an incredibly high margin. I mean, not that 36 isn't fun, but because it is. It certainly gets up and scoots. But 40 plus, this thing will loft the front tire on a tiny whim. I mean, holy cow, it's a tremendous leap. I did turn the power up a couple of times, but only for maybe a total of a mile. I mean, I bumped it to a mode that scales up to 50 horse, but that was ridiculous. That's seriously, it's absurd. Why anybody wants one of these at 80 horse is just beyond me. I do not understand that. But I guess I'm just not skilled enough. And probably never will be. Too bad you can't get enough range to run these in a race. Oh my gosh, that'd be sick. But these off-road races are typically 80 plus miles. There's no freaking way no way this is doing that. And now we're in the sand. Sort of sand. I am not used to hitting rocks like this with so much pressure in my tire. That is harsh. That do? Yeah, we're clear down. That chewed up 7%, just that last little section, and we're only at 26 miles. So man, I mean, I said I'd get 40. Maybe not. It'd be tough to get to 40. 35, sure. 40, I don't know about 40. Would be rolling in on fumes. Limp mode or whatever it is this thing goes into. Hey, if you stuck through this whole thing, I super appreciate it. I would love for you to click like and subscribe. I would love for my channel to grow by about 1 million subscribers. That would be fantastic. I want to be done. Click like and subscribe. Tell everyone you know to do the same. And until next time.